Hello everyone, this is Nova here, and today we're going to do a more simplistic video. I'm going to be doing a tier list about basically you can basically tell the concept is whether Metal Sonic could beat certain characters in the Sonic the Hedgehog series, whether it be heroes and villains. We have some villains in this series, but I'm mainly here for the heroes. And as you can see, each tier list represents a different form of Metal Sonic. So here you have if they would beat classic Metal Sonic, if they would be able to beat the regular Metal Sonic, neometalsonic, super neometalsonic, and metal Overlord. I debated whether or not super neometalsonic should be above.
So I'm planning on having.
Sorry about that nonsense. I should debate whether or not metal Overlord should be above or less or weaker than super neometalsonic. Because obviously, if you've read the IDW comics, you've actually seen super neometalsonic. Like I can actually probably find it on here. Super neometalsonic. Like, yeah, like we've all seen this panel of how he dominated Knuckles and Sonic, like, as Super New. I debated whether or not Super New would be stronger than Metal Overlord since Metal Overlord didn't have access to the Chaos Emeralds. So, in theory, I could actually put I actually am going to do that. Let me just delete the and add a row below and just put Metal because it would make more sense if since base Shadow is able to beat him. So I'm gonna actually put Metal Overlord here and have Super Neometalsonic above that and then have Master Overlord above that. Okay, let's begin, shall we? We can start off with Sonic, one of Metal Sonic's earliest rivals. Let me just turn off my notification so you don't hear the ping. Now, with Sonic the Hedgehog, Sonic in Sonic and Metal Sonic's history has been pretty clear cut. Obviously, he clears classic Metal Sonic, because then we see what classic Sonic. We'll get to classic Sonic in a minute. When it comes to base Metal Sonic, right? Base Sonic, right? We're gonna consider every character's full transformation, like every transformation they have, just so that we don't just get a bunch of people just on the bottom tier list. We want to get everyone. We're gonna kind of upscale everybody as best as we can. So let's start with Sonic. We have obviously base Sonic can beat base Metal Sonic most of the time. Obviously, there are certain caveats. Like, let me see if I can find it. Metal Sonic versus Sonic and Shadow. If you look at Sonic Boom, there are multiple cases where Sonic is able to actually fight Shadow and Sonic at the same time. Like, as you can see, you can literally see the clip from Sonic Boom. But we're gonna get to Shadow versus Sonic in a second. So it's even this panel that I'm gonna look at first. But we're gonna look at, as you can see from here, Sonic is capable of fighting Shadow and Sonic at the same time. And obviously we have the Memories Beyond 30th anniversary animation coming out where Sonic is able to fight like Knuckles, Sonic, Shadow, and actually do pretty well against all five of like his opponents. Like he literally has like Metal Sonic. One thing about Metal Sonic is that he consistently gets jumped. So if we see certain characters on the tier list, you can already guess where they're going. Unfortunately, not every cap's on here, so I'm gonna have to do another tier list about this again in the future, but we'll see. Anyway, so I think, but based on like Sonic's feats against Metal Sonic by himself, we know that like he consistently beats Metal Sonic in base. So when it comes to Neo Metal Sonic though, base Sonic is not gonna be enough. Like, base Sonic is not beating Neo Metal Sonic. We literally see in IDW comics like Sonic versus Neo Metal Sonic. Like literally see like it's literally here. Like we literally see that once Mustang copies Sonic's biodata again, which you probably even need to do if you just did it because Sonic already attacked him and caught him off guard. He's able to immediately become faster than Sonic, and like he literally blitzes Sonic. I mean, Sonic was off guard technically because he was being cocky and making a joke, but still, he basically blitzes Sonic and just basically convinces Sonic that yeah, with this guy, I'm not fighting him. So yeah. But as Super Sonic would definitely be able to defeat Neo Metal Sonic because we already know Super Sonic's scale is pretty high, and even Neo Metal Sonic got an upscale. Now, when it comes to Metal Overlord, if you use Shadow Generations, base Sonic now post Frontiers with like if you give him all those cyberspace powers should be stronger than the Shadow from Shadow Generations that defeated New Metal Overlord all by himself. And these events would take place before anything in the IDW Sonic comics, which takes place after Sonic Forces. So in my opinion, I think it's pretty obvious that Sonic and Base shouldn't be able to beat Metal Overlord if Shadow can do it. He probably just needs like his extreme gear for the sake of water. Or he could just run on the water. Now Super Neometalsonic, he would need his super form, but Super Neometalsonic should be stronger than Supersonic. Right? Because like I don't care about like anything from Sonic Speed Simulator if you want to say Supersonic can beat him, because I don't care about that. I don't play Roblox. But I will say that as this is like Metal Sonic still has all the biodata he's copied from other people, and he's considering what he was doing. Considering Super Neo Metal Sonic is powered by the Master Emerald as well, as opposed to Super Sonic being just the Chaos Emeralds, it's safe to assume that Metal Sonic might probably got a greater boost, even though Shadow does sneak him, so it's a bit contentious whether or not that's true. We also don't even know how much energy he absorbed from the Master Emerald at the time. He probably barely got anything from that for, especially considering Mechasonic didn't get much from it when he absorbed it, but Mechasonic had like an adapter, he got like a whole device. Like, I would show the panel, but I don't have all of it right now. But yeah, I can probably find it, but I don't want to spend too much time yapping. But yeah, like as you can see, like he has a whole device in the background here, like built specifically so he can absorb power from Master Emerald. Now he's not being Master Overlord by himself, but I'm going to move him back down here because I'm not sure if he'd actually be able to beat Super Neo Metal Sonic. But like if you wanna, like maybe at the end I might just move him up there for the sake of it. But sure. Now for Classic Sonic, we literally see during Sonic Generations, like literally Sonic Generations, like versus Metal Sonic. Like literally sees Classic Sonic just basically no diff Classic Metal Sonic in Sonic Generations, and obviously Sonic CD. You'll know the drill. Classic Sonic can clear that. He's not clearing Modern Metal Sonic though. Like Classic Sonic is not gonna be able to do that. Like you cannot come. Well, if he's in super form, even then, Metal Sonic has like some crazy amps. Like if Base Sonic can get stronger than Super Sonic, stronger than Super's form, and Metal Sonic is still able to keep up with him and his friends at the same time. Yeah, it's safe that Sonic is just stuck here. Now with Eggman, did get captured by Metal Sonic in Sonic Heroes, but he created Metal Sonic. So like, I can see Eggman with the rest of his machines, assuming Metal Sonic isn't able to like assimilate with them or control them in any way. He can definitely clear Metal Sonic, base Metal Sonic, definitely. He can definitely like find a way to hack him and control him with his own code that he built, even if Metal Sonic's rebellious coding might make it a bit difficult if you try to fight back. He's not getting past neometalsonic though. You can't convince me that neometalsonic could literally just capture him again. Like even now with all the technology he has, the metal virus wouldn't work on him because he's already metal. Like there's a lot of things that he wouldn't be able to get past. As for Classic Eggman, he can stay here. Like he can go here as well. Like if you say that, well, he learned from his. If you say some generations, he learned from his present day self, like his future self, how to like control Metal Sonic better, then like sure. But given what happened in the recent comic issue, like Metal Sonic got taken over by like an AI crystal kind of thing. Like I'm not gonna make Meteor Metal Sonic a separatist because that's a new form. We don't even know how strong it is. We only know it's like comparable to Super Sonic in classics, classic Super Sonic. So I guess if you want to conclude the recent anniversary IDW comic, but let me see if I can find it. Sonic 35th anniversary comic. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, like here, if you want to compare it to the Metasonic that we see here, where he's like absorbed all these plant powers and stuff, like right here. Like I don't know if I can show it. Like here we go. Like here, like right here. If you compare it to this. Also, excuse me if you're sorry for spoilers if anyone's actually watching the bullshit right now. But yeah, this new transformation. We can include that too if you want, but we don't really see much from it. So yeah, I'm gonna put Eggman just next to his other self just for fun. Now Tails. Tails can be classic Metal Sonic. I don't care about any of the forces moves of him scout from Chaos. base Tails is probably stronger. It's definitely stronger than classic Metal Sonic. Regular Metal Sonic though, I don't. I mean, in IDW, Sonic Tails has some pretty good showings against Metal Sonic, but he's not beating him in a fight. I don't think he's gonna beat him in a fight. I also should make like uh add a tib, add a rate below, simply to just metal crashes, metal crash, metal crushes them. So yeah, basically this is basically for people who just lose to Metal Sonic in general, which Classic Tales will be going into because you cannot convince me Classic Tales is beating Metal Sonic in a fight. Like even if it's Classic Metal Sonic is comparable to Sonic, so it would take someone like Knuckles or like Amy maybe might be able to do something, but even then I don't think so. Now, I'm not going to obviously include these two because they're obviously Metalsonics. So like what we could do is literally just to put them, like we're not going to put them in a tier actually, we're just going to leave them. But what we can do is put a modern Amy in it. Now Amy, with how strong she is, with having her being comparable to Knuckles in strength these days, like especially with how heavy her ammo is, which apparently gets amped by her love, like or like her emotions. Like the hammer seems to actually respond to her emotions. Like it's literally a magic hammer. Like she's definitely going above classic Sonic. Regular Metal Sonic though, I mean, she has the feats to say that she might be able to beat base Metal Sonic though. And that's the thing. She has the feats, but then I have to probably move Tails up because I can't really say that Amy can't be Metal Sonic. Like I'm considering what he does to him in IDW. Like if you actually look at the panel, like, I'm gonna see if I can find it. Like son like what's it called, Egg Pale City. Nope, did not mean to search that up. Let's go back. Egg Pale City, you know, Metal Sonic. I'm going to see if I can find it because I know there's at least one panel. Like honestly, but like yeah, there is a panel of like Amy like crashing the ground to like stop Sonic, like in like Pale City, like to stop Metal Sonic, and Metal Sonic actually just gets like shook by the attack. Like I honestly can see a world where Amy is able to, but Metal Sonic is too fast. Like that's the thing. The main problem is speed. Amy is strong enough to fight Metal Sonic, especially if you use now. Like you actually look at the animation, which we will be watching. Like I will be actually analyzing the fight at the end of this video if I have time. I'll actually go to that animation and analyze like the fight choreography, see who actually wins. But genuinely speaking, I think, I think that Amy probably. I'm gonna leave Amy here because her power is kind of classic Amy is a lot easier to find. She's getting crushed right now. So Metalsonic is gonna slap the shit out of her. He already captured him once, and it would happen again. Now with Knuckles, Knuckles is definitely. Oh yeah, I forgot about Super Tails. Super Tails actually has a super form, so I can actually put him up. Actually put him up here. Neo, I don't know if he's beating Neo Metalsonic on his own. Even in super form, like even in super form, I don't know if Tails is gonna beat Neo on his own. Simply because we barely see Tails go super anymore, to the point where I don't even. Knuckles still has something for sure. Until I know Tails has like his high performing little flickies, I'm not gonna overestimate him and say that he's gonna beat Metal Sonic, he's gonna beat Neo. I'm just gonna leave him there. With Knuckles though, we can say without that he's clearing like all of these, especially with super form. He's definitely beating. He's at least going next to Sonic, because they should Knuckles is as strong as Sonic is fast, and given how fast Knuckles is and all the feats they share, and the fact that Knuckles can literally one shot an enhanced Metal Sonic back in the classic area. Like when Knuckles gets really angry, and if it's to protect the Master Emerald, he can do a crazy. He has crazy feats, and he's at least comparable to Sonic in that they should both be able to consistently defeat Metal Overlord by themselves. You could lower him due to neometalsonic simply because of the size of Metal Overlord. But I can see Knuckles being able to actually defeat Metal Overlord as Sonic can do it. And he can glide, which gives him a lot more aerial mobility compared to like Sonic, who can't really he can't fly. He's got homing attacks and stuff, and he's got like a bunch of like Sonic has a lot of abilities that he just can't use anymore. But we can get into that another time. Classic Knuckles is definitely I can see him beating Classic Metal Sonic. Definitely, I can definitely see him beating Classic Metal Sonic. Not modern era, modern era Metal Sonic would still be in. Which I might feel like a lot of these are gonna be changed. So like in the end, so don't worry about that. But I definitely can see him beat classic Metal Sonic. Would he beat Metal Sonic? Fine, I don't think so. Now Mighty is definitely going in who would beat Metal Sonic. By the way, these the caps are in no clear order of who's stronger. It's literally just if they can get to the hierarchy. I don't know if anyone's gonna get to Master Overlord, but we'll see. Maybe when we get to like more complex characters. This tier list that I have right now doesn't have everybody in it. Like, I don't think Surge is here. If Surge was here, we'd have like an interesting debate to talk about. Which I will try to find like IDW something really to put Metal Sonic against maybe. Oh no, Surge is here. Never mind. So I can actually I don't have to worry about it. Anyway, let's go to Ray. Ray. Ray's gonna get. Ray's getting like we literally saw it happen in like Sonic Mania Adventures, Sonic Mania Adventures, Metalsonic. I should be able to find a picture of him just grabbing Ray. Like, let's see if I can actually find it. It's not gonna Ray. Like, we can actually see it here. Like, Mighty literally has to defend him from Metalsonic. Like, literally, you can see it here. Like, Metal Trip just blitzes Mighty and away and just grabs Ray immediately. And probably could have just beat him up down and there if he wasn't that his main objective was to kill us. But here, what do I know? So yeah, Fang the Sniper is also getting beaten by Metal Sonic. I don't think I need to explain that. I mean, you say what you want about some of the fighters, considering Sonic can deflect those shots with his spin dash, Master Sonic, who's literally made of metal, would definitely be able to do that with his spin attacks. He couldn't just fly at Fang and destroy him. Now, Vector is interesting. Vector is very strong. He's very physically strong and powerful. He's got powerful. I can see him beating classic Metal Sonic by himself. Regular Metal Sonic, though, is where I draw the line. Like, if Amy's up here, he should definitely go up here. In that they might be able to do something to Mouse. But at the same time, Vector isn't primarily a fighter as well. Like Amy was training hard to fight alongside Sonic and be her own hero. But I can't see a world where I can't see a world where Vector is able to is as strong as Amy. Like the reason Tails is up here is mainly because of his brains and tactics, as opposed to Victor, who is a detective. I don't know if he'd be able to beat modern Metal Sonic. Like a lot of this will change based on like the animation when it comes to like how badly Metal Sonic is beating them up in that fight. Like a lot of these will actually change. But for now, I'm gonna leave Vector. Like I don't want to put him in the classic era. That's what I don't want to do because he's very physically powerful. So I might actually just put him in. Classic Vector though is getting beaten by Metal Sonic. Like considering what Metal Sonic Kai was able to do to these people, like Metal Sonic Kai, like yeah, I guarantee Knuckles was probably carrying most of this. Now Espio I can actually see beating Metal Sonic. I can actually see him beating Metal Sonic, considering what he's able to do to Zaz. The Deadly Six are literally just gonna go as high as they until like we get to like, the Deadly Six literally just have hacks to beat Metal Sonic, which we'll get into later. I don't see him beating Neo Metal though, especially since he doesn't have a super form, but they can stay there. Classic Espio, considering what we know of Espio now, I could see him being classic Metal Sonic. And for Charmy, this version of Charmy is getting stomped out, but modern Charmy is probably still like I don't see modern Charmy actually being able to beat classic Metal Sonic funnily enough. Because classic Metal Sonic is just built different, and given what we know about classic Sonic, I don't think Charmy's got that in it. Now, Tails though, I mean, he's not really a factor. Like he's not that powerful. Like he's actually not that powerful. Like if we were going into the base, then maybe he'd be up here. But Tails though is not that tough, especially with the Archie comic, which is actually more faithful to Tails' lore, where he's literally just like tracking a robot that Eggman says to spy on like Sonic and Sally and all of them. Metal Knuckles would definitely give Metal Sonic a chance. I can see him beating Classic Metal Sonic. I don't know, but Modern Metal Sonic, no, he's not doing that. Bean and Bark, I mean, Bean and Bark, I'm considering what Sonic is able to do to them on a daily basis. I don't think Metal Sonic is going to have too much issue doing similar things to the hooligans. Honey the Cat is in, not Egg River, definitely getting clout. Honey the Cat is interesting because if you use Archie Sonic, like Sonic versus Honey the Cat, like Honey the Cat is actually able to fight Sonic, like not evenly so much, but like in a controlled battle scenario, like he's able to catch Sonic off guard with her with her cunning fighting strategy, and she's able to actually beat Tails by using a similar trick. But yeah, like she actually ends up having like a decent fight with Sonic. Like you can actually probably see it. Like she actually does end up fighting Sonic for a bit. Now she loses obviously. It's Sonic, like and Honey the Cat, but Honey the Cat is a fighter, and it's literally based off Honey from fighting Vipers. So I mean, it's not. I wouldn't be surprised if she could beat Classic Metal Sonic. She's not being Modern Metal Sonic there. Like if she beat Classic Metal Sonic, I would not be all that surprised, given she's a fighter. So I'm not gonna say put her in the National Crushes them tier, especially given what we know. Now here we get into like some fun stuff. Chaos. Now we're going to take into account all of Chaos's forms, but base Chaos Zero would definitely beat the classic Metal Sonic. He definitely beat it at least. But Chaos Zero is getting no diss by Sonic. But when we get to like perfect Chaos and all the transformations, he definitely goes up to Neo. Now Neo Sonic can copy the Chaos's bio data. So about whether or not the water from Chaos's like destructive power is able to like fire Metal Sonic. Because you know Kit is able to no different base Metal Sonic easily, and he's like a water demon and water. Hmm? Everything okay, mom? I'll be right back. Sorry about that. Let us continue. Now, where were we? Oh, right. You on the Neo, like, one Chaos. Let's make sure, like, all my stuff is in. Okay, cool, cool. Okay, we're good. We're good. Sorry about that, guys. I was literally just, it was just my mom checking on me or something. Anyway, let's see if we can speed this up a bit, but we'll see. Anyway, yes, water is like, but neometalsonic were just copied by data. So I think Chaos might actually lose to neometalsonic here, especially given what Sonic and Knuckles can do to him. So I'm just gonna leave Chaos Zero there, and like perfectly taking into account like perfect Chaos, like perfect Chaos would probably still lose to Neo, especially given Sonic should be able to beat it, is able to beat him in base form. Like yeah, Chaos probably stops here. Now Gamma. Gamma's interesting. Gamma is definitely above the classics. Base Metal Sonic though is probably still gonna beat Gamma. But considering that Amy would definitely beat Gamma in a fight. Tails would beat Gamma. Like everyone here probably could beat Gamma. Like Gamma would like like Gamma, yeah. I took out isn't a fighter, so obviously and she's dead. But like given when she was if she would the hyperlook aligned with the car, assuming she could glide like Knuckles, like she can in the multiplayer, and assuming a few other things about her, we could come to the conclusion that she should at least be able to beat classic Metalsonic, but she stops at modern Metalsonic for sure. But you have to make a lot of assumptions. Now with Froggy, Froggy is just like supernaturally. Like I'm not gonna put in any more serious on the tier list, but Froggy is just like he'll survive anything, he'll get through anything. Metalsonic really wanted to kill the frog though. Like he probably, like, if anything, he probably just take his bow there just to be sure. But yeah, Foggy ain't doing anything. Now Shadow is the interesting. Shadow is definitely above. Like before I put Shadow above base or something, I need you to see some things. Like if I'm gonna go back to a page I was already on. Let me see. Shadow versus Metalsonic versus Shadow. Shadow. Like Metalsonic beat Shadow a lot, even when weakened. Like here, like during this fight, Nelson is literally damaged from having just helped out with the metal virus, and yet for some reason, every time Nelson and Shadow fight in any continuity, Shadow always gets dunked on by Metal. Metal always manages to do something. Like we can never, like I guarantee in Sonic Movie 4 we're gonna get a scene of Metal beating Shadow up, or like just trolling with just beating Shadow, because it just seems to be more towards a constant, as this comment says from Reddit. Like, we can actually let me actually check this out real quick since I'm not here. But I'm just saying, like I'm just gonna around and doing this, but like seriously though. And we'll see have this panel again. Here's it even worse. Like even now damaged already from this battle against the Zeti, he's still able to dunk on the Shadow like this. Like seriously. And it makes it Shadow was able to pull off a sneak attack like this, but now I'm wondering what I'm trying to see. That's why Shadow sneaked him and just got a combo off while he could, because Metasonic even in base it was disrespecting like and the weakened base was able to do that. Let's see. Any other planets? Here we go. Where in the Archie Sonic comics, the concept of this is basically like after they fight Scourge, that they can walk to Breeze's dimension, and Mr. Mix still is able to like catch her off guard with his kick, like punch him into the water. And Sonic is very powerful in the Archie comics. Like he's actually affected Sonic and Shadow. Like which is what Massive Sonic should be. He should be a threat. He shouldn't just be some like random badnik fodder that they can just throw everywhere. I can literally see here that Messi just dunks on Shadow again. Like, bro, why is Messi just bullying Shadow in every continuity? But seriously. But anyway, but I still put Shadow above base in Sonic just for the sake of this video, since we obviously Metal is getting upscale, but he's definitely going at least here because he beat Metal Overlord. Now, one interesting thing is like if Shadow still had his Doom powers, I can see him being super neometalsonic with like his Doom powers enhanced by his super form. For he might awaken like some latent potential from Black Doom. But I don't see him beating Master Overlord though. Because obviously with the Master Emerald he can neutralize the power of the Chaos Emerald and make Shadow's super form practically useless. Like this is something that Sonic even mentions, like when they're fighting Master Overlord. Like I don't know if that's a cameo I can find of it, but when they're fighting Master Overlord, Sonic even mentions that even with Super Sonic as an option, like Master Overlord would probably just turn the power off. Like So even with that transformation, so but I can definitely see Shadow using his Doom Pass to get an edge. If we use Super Sonic 2, I guess we could get Sonic up here as well. But like Messer could copy the bio. Like I don't know if Messer could copy the Doom powers, but he might be able to copy Sonic cyber abilities. But I don't know if he can copy the Doom powers. Like, if Messer is able to copy the Doom powers, then but we have an interesting debate here with basically like Shadow's Shadow Mesonic, Super Shadow. If you want to use Hyper Sonic, I guess you can get him up here. So I might just put it in there. I'm not gonna get like Hyper Knuckles. I don't know if that is still a thing. But like if you use like Hyper And for the sake of argument, like I don't want to put too many people up here. That's what I'm saying. So for the sake of argument, Shadows, so Knuckles is gonna stay down here. That's like Super Knuckles, but like if you use like Hypersonic and like Super Neo Metal, Super like Beam Powered Shadow, they can both go here. Okay, let's see. Rouge is definitely like based on her performance in the clip of the Memories and Beyond animation. We can definitely put her. She's I don't she's baiting base metalsonic on her and there, but she can definitely I can definitely see her beating metalsonic base metalsonic on her own. It's just about how she'll go about doing it. But yeah, I can definitely see her being here. Like she definitely doesn't belong to be a tier below these people. Like obviously when the series is finished, I can just go about moving people. Maria obviously human gets crushed. Gerald Robotnik is interesting. Like if you give him like with Robotnik, with these two, you'd have to give her like she's getting forward no matter what, but you have to give him prep time, and he'd probably be able to do it. But without prep time, he's just kind of going there. The Chow, no, the Chow are OP. Like considering what she's able to do to some bosses, I could easily see that the Chow, unironically, just no different else. They're getting clapped by Neo though. Like neometalsonic isn't is gonna just cut them, but I can actually see like their child just jumping down so can actually want to do some shit. Now Black Doom is interesting because Black Doom definitely goes above, goes like a brood, goes at least here. Obviously, Metalsonic would copy his biodata, but if you use like Devil Doom, like Neo Devil Doom, he'd have to go at least. He'd be definitely stronger than Metal Overlord based on like Shadow Generations. Would he be able to beat Super Neo Metalsonic? I can actually see Black Doom doing. Black Doom probably lose. Like if Shadow and Sonic are losing, like Black Doom is definitely losing. Because Sonic and Shadow are both fighters capable of beating Black Doom with like their superpowered states. Master Overlord is like an untouchable kind of transformation unless you like jump him and like take his musty, like get rid of cut the master with out of him in time. Obviously these guys are humans, so like Master could do. Omega is a good example of someone who would definitely beat Metal Sonic. Near Metal Sonic is gonna cook him though. Like I'm sorry, like Neo Sonic is cooking Omega so bad. Like seeing what Gemmo did to Omega, but he definitely beats Metal Sonic in a fight. Like base Metal Sonic, I can definitely see Omega beating base Metal Sonic in a fight. Even if you want to say based on like REW scaling, like upscale of Metal Sonic should be stronger. I can definitely see Omega beating Metal Sonic in a fight. Like I wouldn't be mad if that happened. Now Silver is a one where Super Silver definitely goes above the Metal Sonic. You can, I because like look at because you know what Silver did to Sonic like in Sonic 06, like if you actually like it's no use and how he fought Solaris, and also if you like the comics how he fought Enerjack in Archie comics by himself by using seconds to redirect his chaos powers back at the Enerjack, using Enerjack's own power against him. Like we have never, if we ever get a new Silver game or like more focus on Silver, I hope we get to see him use like his second powers, so like his fullest extent more often. Yeah. Really want, I highly doubt that, given they're trying to push the narrative that Silver has like more, is not as well trained or used to his powers as he was back when we first met him. I find it hard to believe, but sure. But yeah, he's definitely going above Metal Overlord. Yeah, he's definitely going like here with like the other hedgehogs. He's definitely going here with like his super form, enhancing his like psychic abilities. But in the end of the day, Massumi also can still copy that biodata. That's the thing. So I have to be really generous and to make this tier list like feel more fair. Now Blaze, Burning Blaze, there is a line. There is a line, like like actually yeah, here's like the Metals Uncommon Shadow thing that I was talking about earlier. Like here, yeah, here, and yeah. That just seems to be something that happens. Like, but what's another? Yeah, and not just the fact that if you actually look at Metalsonic versus Sonic and Silver, there's two different versions of this fight. There's the version from the Arch Sonic that Sonic like actually does very well against them, and it's obviously like here. But it's also like the Archie. There's also like the IDW version where he also kind of just noticed Silver in a way. Like, I'm gonna see if I can like find the IDW comic panel. Like here it is, like you literally see him like toss Silver around, just fling him off the mountain. But Silver is definitely like one of the like biggest threats that like Sonic could like that Sonic has ever dealt with. Now let's go move on. Obviously Princess Elise. If you want to say she unleashes, starts crying and unleashes Iblis, then that's a different story. But just Elise, yeah, that's just no different, no joke, nothing to talk about. Memphis is interesting. Like Mephiles, given he got done dirty by Shadow, he probably wouldn't. I don't know if Neometalsonic might actually beat him. Like I can actually see Neometalsonic copying his bio data and doing some and basically being able to defeat him that way. But like even then, all it takes is like one or two kills almost to give Mephiles more power. But assuming like this is like a regular fight, I can easily see Mephiles actually losing to Neometalsonic. I can easily see him just as being Metal Overlord though. I don't know about. Like if you want to say like upscaling beats to the fact that Overlord happened earlier, Metal Overlord happened earlier when in the timeline, then sure, go ahead. But I don't see him getting above that though. He's gonna be here. He's gonna be here at Knuckles. Like I don't see like I put him up. Like if you want him to be before Knuckles, then sure. But like he's not going. He's not going higher than that. Based on like what we've seen him do. Obviously, a Solaris is a different story because Solaris is like a multiversal 5D dimensional threat in like multiple timelines at once. But yeah, Gaia Colossus. We're gonna give him the Gaia Colossus. Chip, like as light Gaia with the Gaia Colossus, is definitely like a threat to the Sonic. He can definitely beat base now. Sonic. Metal Sonic is different because he can copy Chip's bio data, maybe get some like some light Gaia kind of powers. We don't really know what Chip's powers are really are, aside from like being able to like use the power of light and life energy and stuff like that. I don't even know if Mesmer could even be able to access those powers. Like obviously if he can then maybe Chip would probably lose to this version of Metal Sonic with the Gaia Colossus. But he's definitely losing to Metal Overlord at the very least. Like if you want to give it to him, I can easily put him like up here, like super. Because especially if since he's powered, he uses the chaos emeralds as an energy source. You can definitely put him up here. He's not going beyond here though. Like I want to be very fair as I can to these characters. Cream definitely beats Cassie. She's losing to base or something like that. Like based on what we see Xena do to her, yeah. Now obviously these guys are just kind of like here. They're not made for combat. Sally, I mean, eh, I don't know. I mean, yeah, sure. I don't know about that, because the thing is, like, Sally, she has a lot of like combat capabilities, but we don't really see much of her showcasing how strong she is. So I don't know if she's like actually as strong as these guys. It's just been a while since I've actually read Archie, so I'm just to be safe. I'm just gonna put her here because I know she probably beat Classic Metal or something. Even Antoine is able to fight. I'm not sure, but for now I'm gonna leave her here. Vanilla, she's not a fighter. She's not a fighter for one, and she like honestly I can see demon mode Vanilla like going crazy and finding a way to beat Classic or something. But for now, for the sake of argument, like if anyone wants to argue in the comments, go ahead. Yaka, I mean, Professor Pickle obviously can't, isn't a fighter. Yaka is just running by Wisp. And given how easily Metalsonic was able to catch them in the Rise of the Capture Wisps and Rise of the Wisps, I don't see why Metalsonic wouldn't be able to just steal the Hyper Go on energy by force of imprisonment. Now, the Deadly Six are also just hacks to beat any version of Metalsonic because you can literally just take him over. The only reason I hesitate to put them higher than neometalsonic is because neometalsonic with his rebellious coding might have some sort of resistance, and not to mention he's able to copy their biodata in time. He might honestly be able to just like reverse his control of his control of it. Like he might actually be able to nullify it, in which case it all probably go around neometalsonic tier. Like honestly, just for the sake of the base out, I can see like actually like fighting neometalsonic and putting up a fight. So I'm gonna put him there just for the sake of it. Everyone, all the others though are just going on regular. They beat Metalsonic because they can just control it. So like mastered, but like everyone else is like all the others are like not. They're not like that. Like they're actually like, especially since Master Zeke, like some of them are getting beaten by like the Babylon robes of all people. So yeah, you guys are kind of just going in. Infinite, however, Infinite is definitely up there. His Infinite above me being able to nail with the Phantom Ruby and the Astroscopic lens, especially if you use the Chaotic Case files where which Metalsonic is in by the way, supposedly, where he just punches Eggman like across the continent and Sage, which Eggman survives that by the way somehow, but Sage is able to like save him. Then sure, and we're not counting the death battle where he gets done in by Thorn. Like infinite Thwomp. Yeah, infinite getting done by Thwomp. Like get Thwomped, idiot. Yeah, infinite Thwomp. But yeah, actually, I might make the reaction to like the actual like video, like the my kind of actual different thing. Like I might just make an analysis of the fighting. But so I'm honestly not sure what's going on. He's not going. Like he deserves to be up here with the rest, given how powerful he is. I just don't think he like him beating me in the Mercy just doesn't seem right to me. But I can see a world where it does happen because of like the Phantom of the Illusions and maybe being able to mess with his circuitry. But beating Master Overlord would definitely be consistent because he's the strongest at the time. He's losing to Super Neo Master, so I think he can stay in this tier. So like these guys like a lot of these guys can be changed around. Buddy Avatar is definitely like up there. He can beat Metal Sonic. He's not beating Neo though, but he can beat Metal Sonic. I can see that. Obviously you are not a fighter. Trip the Sun Gauger with her strapping on Super Fin definitely beats classic Metal Sonic. Would she beat modern Metal Sonic? Well, she's not a modern. We're not seeing her modern day, but with her super form, I can see it happening. Because with her super form and the Chaos Emerald, I can and the ability to use like the Chaos Emerald's powers, which she wouldn't have knowledge to, knowledge of how to use like the individual powers of the Chaos Emeralds if she has any of them. Then yeah, I can definitely feel beating a modern Metal Sonic. Anything above that is a bit too much of a stretch. Marine, with her like hand laser, maybe if she gets a lucky shot, she can be classic. Modern Sticks is like a same bet where like she can be classic now Sonic, but we considering how Sonic and Sonic Boom kind of like no diffs everyone as time and is able to even keep up with Sonic and Shadow at the same time. Yeah, I don't think so. Tangle is honestly similar boat where it's like I can't really see her being able to beat Metal Sonic. You know, even though she's put arguably should be a better fighter than Takoro. I'm using like Takoro's law and can actually can to justify her placement. With Tangle we just have clear proof that from her like Metal Sonic, like the fact that she was running from Metal Sonic That just goes to show she ain't built to handle that on her own. Like, yeah, look at the aura when she, like, the Masonic has when he lands and he's just running around. This super whisper form is really cool though. Yeah, as you can see, Tango is not built for that. Anyway, with Whisper, I can Whisper versus Masonic section engine, given what we see Whisper able to do against Surge. Like Whisper versus Surge is actually a very interesting fight. Especially with the fact that she has wrist powers, which metal can absorb. But I don't know if you can do that without like an adapter, like using wires of the wisps. Like if you can't, if without a wisp cap inserted into them, I'm not sure if you can actually use their powers. Probably not. So she should be able to beat base Masonic. Neo Masonic, she's not beating them. If she can't beat Surge, she's not beating Masonic. Now here's where we get into like more IDW villains, which I kind of want to get some of these like types out of the way first before I go to IDW. Lead the cat is actually like, but we have like Law that he has some like hidden overpowered strength, and in the Archie comics he goes crazy. So we can easily put him like here. He's definitely going in this tier, but I can see him beating Masonic. Neo Masonic, I don't see him beating him. Like if you want to scale him to Zavok simply because even Zavok feels afraid of him, then like sure, we can put Big up here. But he ain't going higher than that, buddy. Let's see, Dodon Tar. You are not a fighter. These guys, like Heavy King would beat metalsonic. And with his like Phantom review transformation, I can see him beating a base Masonic, but he's not beating anyone higher than that. The rest of the hard-boiled heavies can probably go here too, honestly. Like they can probably go in like I can beat Metal Sonic tier. Like honestly, I don't think they can actually. They might actually lose. Like Heavy Key's the only one that I know for a fact can beat Metal Sonic, but these ones probably can't. Also, we have these like fodder, your fodder. Like if Tails can beat you, like you are fodder. Like, these guys are for like rich cards, like bomb. Now here's where we get some stuff. Who the heck is this guy? Honestly, I can't. If that's at least farther than yeah, you're going to get to. Chris Thornback, yeah, you're getting clamped. You're not getting clamped. You're getting destroyed. You're getting. Now, Mecha Sonic is an interesting one because if you use Sonic versus Mecha Sonic and it's Clapping Island, Mecha Sonic actually is still just as fast as Sonic is even more damaged. And while yeah, Sonic is injured, he's still at a level where Tails thinks that Sonic is still like let me see. Like he's still as fast as Sonic is now. Which goes to just show that even that goes to show how much potential Mecha Sonic had if he was given the same treatment Metal Sonic was. Like like that. Okay, like I can't seem to find the exact panel, but people who've read Scrapnik Island, which I definitely recommend for people who want to get into the IW comics, I definitely recommend Scrapnik Island as like a standalone tape story to get into it. But like not maybe not immediately, but there's not much context that you need for it. So anyway, Babylon Rogues. I mean, yeah, I guess we can put them in here and put all of them in here. Yeah, I can see them being bait Ismail Sonic in a race at least, but I don't see them like actually. They might actually get cooked by him in a fight, but like I can see them somehow finding a way to beat Metasonic. Like Rave with her engineering smart might be able to find a way to like take him down. Storm is actually pretty strong comparable to Knuckles. And Jet, I mean, he's fast on his extreme gear, which they use as weapons. And based on his performance against Master Zik, at the very least, he should have enough to actually make him maybe scrape the win a bit. Also, we're being very generous. Mimic is actually trash. Like, he can beat Clefness, but I don't see him actually beat anyone else. Ironically, I actually don't see him beating Nelson base. He's not beating anyone. skeleton. Like if Tangle can do him like this, I don't think he's good. Like I don't. It makes me wonder how he became such a good assassin. Now Dr. Stein with the warped out topaz and like his hypnotic glove could definitely find a way to beat Metalsonic. I can definitely see him beating base Metalsonic. But considering he lost to Eggman, I don't feel comfortable putting him like anywhere near tier. Considering he still lost to base Eggman, the neometalsonic would definitely win against. But he has the potential to have been up there. Rough and Tumble, base Metalsonic all day. They're probably going to get clapped by base Metalsonic, but I can see them somehow managing to pull out a win. Knowing those two. Like if Cream can do it, I'm sure they can. Surge definitely caps out here. She's not reached that level where I can see it. She doesn't have any transformation. She's not reached the level where I can see her even touching you. Especially since she wouldn't have won against Metalsonic without Kit's help. Like Surge versus Metalsonic. Like if you actually watch the fight, Surge like actually loses the fight. Like Surge is actually like Metalsonic is actually no different. So it's like look how bad it is. Like Metalsonic is actually no different to Surge or the scratch. Even until Kit steps in. That we actually see him like start to lose. Like he would not have looked like literally she needed Kit's help for that. It actually beats Metalsonic. Like we see that consistently. He beats Metalsonic. He's not touching you, but he's definitely got at the top of this tier. Just to highlight the fact that he is actually like a demon. Like Kit's actually like a demon when it comes to how strong he is. I mean, Sage is like if you give Sage like all the abilities that she probably would have had, she like Sage right now, if you're caught up with the IGW Conic is significantly weaker than she was in Frontiers, she's not being connected to the power of the Starfall Island, so she might not have like those laser beams that she used to have. Like she can make hard light constructs, but they're not nearly as durable or powerful, and she can't like phase through things as much anymore because she's actually tangible. So I can see her beating a classic Metasonic by interfacing with this. Like she can actually manipulate Metasonic's own hardware. But I can see her actually beating Metasonic in a fight. She has authority to control him under Eggman's orders. Now, beating Neo Metasonic, I might say like she's gonna stick here. Like she's gonna stick here until we get like more clarification on what she's actually capable of in her current state. But she's still soon to be weaker than Metasonic in the IEW comics. So I'm gonna put her like up here with like Surge and Kit. Like I'm not gonna put her above them yet. I'm just gonna put like them here. But she's definitely shown like the ability to be a threat. Especially if you give her like something to control like a Titan or like some sort of comparable machinery. General scales to Omega based on their sparring match. Like if you actually look at General versus Omega, like they're actually comparable, if not equal in strength, by the fact that they both sustain heavy damage after their sparring match. Yeah, like you can actually see that here. The heavy damage, like they actually are like equal, relatively equal. So he should be at the so I can see General with his super powered state using the chaos language. Where did I put General now? I actually can't find him. Where is he? So I literally moved him, that's it. Oh, let me see if I can. Yeah, he's here. He definitely goes above us. I can actually see him like eating Neo Metal with the Chaos Emeralds if he transforms again. But Neo Metal would be able to copy his badges and copy his badge, but he wouldn't be able to copy like the Chaos Emeralds power. But he's not beating Metal Overlord though. Because Metal Overlord required Supersonic and Tails and Knuckles to beat him. So I think I can safely put him like near He's near the top here, like Chaos and like Savrock, and like Beak and all them. Simply because he has access to. Now, Vasogen is interesting considering Sonic had to use like the power of the world rings. But even then, like if you want to say like a Ragegen, like he's like Ragegen is not super not Sonic level threat. He's a Stark Spine Sonic level threat. He's probably one of his weaker transformations because like he doesn't even use all the weapons. He uses three of them: Sadness, Rage, and like Envy or something. And Wishes maybe I don't remember. But he definitely isn't like if Metalsonic. He couldn't beat Metalsonic, but he's not beating Neo. Like I can see him beating like maybe Basin or something, but he's not beating Neo. It's just we don't even have the Flame of Judgment will affect him because he's a robot. But even then, it's like it's a tricky to stuff. But you can go above. You can go on the Neo tier for now because obviously that's a very controversial one. Shara as another genie of the lamp, she's like more laid back with how she uses her powers. So I'm not gonna say like because obviously if Meta were to become the master of the ring in place of Sonic, then she'd never want to harm Meta. So in the first place, so she's gonna be here because Meta will just crush the ring or like toss it away or something. King Arthur, based on how base Sonic with the Sword Excalibur is able to beat him, like Sonic versus King Arthur. I think my internet dropped again. I threw in versus the corrupted King Arthur. But yeah, Sonic defeating King Arthur, that is actually pretty interesting. Like I actually like. Yeah, the idea that Sonic actually did become King Arthur. You know, that Sonic is the King Arthur. Yeah, Sonic had thought, and it's crazy to think that Sonic actually thought he just killed King Arthur here. Sonic isn't against killing; he just does. Like he will kill if it's necessary. He just doesn't want to all the time. And he also prefers not to do that unless he has to. He's willing to kill like eldritch beings and gods and like mythical people who doesn't know like that. As he knows Eggman is human, he doesn't want to take that life and be seen forever as the guy who killed Eggman. Melina, in her transformation, was able to push Sonic to use like the full power of Excalibur, which would definitely put her at least Neo tier. Probably enough to actually be Metal Overlord if he actually scaled based on that. She should be here. Like if you give her like all the power she had, all the magic, she definitely belongs up here. And she definitely belongs up here. She's not going past it, but she's definitely belongs. Could Neo Metal copy her body and learn her magic? That is something that is possible. But with her power, she definitely belongs in this around this tier. Given she's able to make Sonic, she's able to force Sonic to actually have to use the true power of Excalibur. Now, Mecha Sonic, using Scatback Island feeds on top of it, it's like already, like if you give him like his temporary super form access to the Master Emerald, he would definitely be above everyone in the classic era. Would he beat Modern Metal Sonic though? I don't think so. But just to be safe, I'm going to put him like here-ish. Like he's probably like here-ish. Because he's getting like trolled by all the Zeti because they can control the robots, but him beating Metal Sonic and like now isn't honestly that crazy, given he still scales Sonic after all these years. He's not touching Neo though, he's not getting anywhere above that. Now Void is like, now Void, these characters, they do operate on like an extraterrestrial level in like the world of dreams. So that's the only reason why they're going like very high up. It's like they literally they're literally two halves of like, they literally belong in a dream world. Like unless Metasonic is able to like access the world of dreams, he can't really touch them. Or, like he can't touch the world of like they literally exist in like imaginary world, the world of imagination. And Void was able to like destroy most of that stuff, like pretty much needing the whole thing. And obviously Lumina and Void like two halves of like a goddess called like Illumina, who like made the whole that kind of governs imaginary world and like people's dreams. So that's like the only reason Metal Overlord. Like I'm gonna rank them like here next to like shit based on like, but that's only based on their cosmic powers. Realistically, if base Sonic can do it, can like defeat void creatures and stuff like that, I honestly can't see these two like getting anywhere close. But they're definitely going like here. But like still. Now we have Lyric, who is able to control metalsonic base, but at the end of the day, he ain't doing much to modern man. He ain't doing much to like, anyone else. So I think I'm satisfied with this list. But let me see how much time I've already used. I've already used up an hour. So I don't want to spend too much time wasting your time anymore. But if you are satisfied, I am kind of satisfied with this list. What I might do is I might upload a version with some changes, maybe not. Actually, I'll keep it the same. And if you guys have any input, we can debate in the comment section of the post I make. But for now, I think I'm alright with this. So yeah. This was Ultra Nova, so taking off about an hour of your time, but that honestly works for me. And I hope you enjoy me watching me make this tier list. I also hope you can hear me talking right now because of the fan in the background. But anyway, hope you like, subscribe, and comment down below what you think of my tier list and what you think of me voicing my opinions like this with my face cam on high. Hey, buddy, yes, I know I am pretty cute and handsome. Thank you. Anyway, this is Ultra Nova signing off from the Side Nation. See ya.